Hello, wonderful people. You are welcome to another lovely Saturday. It's the Ask Pastor Sunday show again. It's always an exciting moment to be seated here with Pastor every Saturday for 1 whole hour dedicated to you, answering all your questions. So, you're welcome on board. It's going to be a beautiful ride today. I am super excited because I know every minute with Pastor is a minute of inspiration, is a minute of learning, is a minute of revelation, is a minute of having the in-depth. So join me today as we drink from the well of this special icon of our time. By the way, if you have not sent us your question already and you are seeing this video right now, please leave your question as a comment under this video you're seeing on any topic of your choice, whatsoever is bothering you, be it a question from Pastor's daily live broadcast that you have not gotten answer to. If there is anything you did not understand during Pastor's teaching and you need clarification, even if you listen to his message on YouTube or on another platform and you need clarification to anything he taught that you didn't understand, this is the opportunity you have. Send it as a question to us, leave it as a comment under this video, and we are going to be addressing it. I don't know if you are following Pastor on Facebook, but if you are not, then you are missing out on a lot of things. Please, go like Pastor's page. It's Dr. Sunday Adelaja, so that you will stay in tune with Pastor. Pastor has been doing several series, teachings, twice daily on his Facebook page, live. Those who have been joining Pastor could testify to a life transformation. You don't want to miss out on this wonderful opportunity to learn from one of the wisest we have in our time today. The kind of information that are being distributed on that platform, I don't know where you can get it from in this our present time, undiluted that way. And guess what? It's free of charge, coming to you in the comfort of your home. If I were you, I would take advantage of it. Are you also following him on his blog? If you are not following on his blog, it's SundayAdelajablog.com. Go straight right now and subscribe. On that blog, there are several materials that will bless your life for good. Be it videos, we have over 700 messages, both videos and audios on that page. Can you imagine? On any topic of your choice, there is hardly anything you will look for that Pastor have not said something about. So please go sign up for that blog and make use of those materials. There are several articles, different things that will bless your life. Also follow Pastor on Twitter. It's Sunday Adelaja Official. Stay connected with Pastor on all his social medias, and you are going to be happy you did because of the wisdom that will be coming your way. And after you're blessed by them, you will thank me later. So you're welcome to today's episode of the Ask Pastor Sunday show, and I'm your host for today, Dr. Bien Sufficient. I promise it's going to be a wonderful time because it's always an excellent time with Pastor. So don't forget to leave your question, send your question as a comment under this video you are seeing now, and we'll be addressing all your questions. But before we go on, we are going to move to Pastor, but I'm going to warn you, your theologies might be shaking. And some of the things you know might be uprooted, but stay open-minded so you can learn and drink from this well undilutedly. So join me as we go to Pastor now. Good day, Pastor.
Bless you. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great.
Looking good.
Yeah, we're almost the same color.
Right, that's true.
Pink.
Yeah.
The man is wearing pink.
Yeah, it's only Pastor Sunday that does those daring colors, right? But
many men don't like. They are not bold enough, maybe.
But it suits you, though. It suits you, and I believe a lot of people are catching the fire of your flamboyant colors. Men too are catching that fire.
You know, just what I feel like.
But actually, why do you choose those colors, though?
I've spoken about it to black people already, at least at my HMT the last time.
Yeah, I know about that, but there are still some colors that can be bright, but not necessarily pink, because pink color seems like something that is for the lady or something. But
who said that?
It's just a normal cliche.
Okay, I don't live by cliche, so I'm free of that.
Okay.
There was no cliche in my village.
There was no cliche in your village?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's
And
understandable.
besides that, I always am the kind that hardly adopt anything if I have not used my own mind to understand that that is the way to do it.
Right.
So when people say this is what is supposed to be done, this is the way it's supposed to be, I say okay. But when it comes to choosing what to wear and things like that, I wonder who decided. You have not even been able to show me who decided it, first of all. So if I've not even know who decided it, why should I be obeying instruction? I don't even know who gave it. So I would rather obey my own, the heart. I trust my heart more than the person I don't even know to trust his instruction. So, assumptions, yes. Assumptions are many, but I don't live by assumptions. I live by convictions.
Yeah, but I know that you have, you've ministered far and near in the U.S. Senate, Israeli Christians, and different parliamentary offices. Does it not affect probably your invitation? Because I know some of those places for you to go, probably they will have some specific code of colors and all that to wear. Do you dress like this to all those kind of official places?
I would dress maybe more officially, but in a color that I want. Maybe not pink, but I will still dress in a way that it suits me. Maybe pink tie, for example, and dark suit. I have black suits a lot too. So, but I will make it interesting the way it will satisfy my heart.
Okay, that's great. That's
when
good.
When I went
to
the parliament, to the Senate, I wore blue. No, light blue. No, not light blue. Just somehow gray, blue, grayish blue like that.
Right. Okay. So more like you still put the consideration of where you're going to in mind while combining the colors.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Because if I'm going to a place that is more party and flashy, then I can wear this.
Yeah.
If it's more of official office kind of work, I wear more office kind of work, but in my own way.
Okay, great, Pastor. And this week you've been doing a lovely series on raising the children, and presently you're now up to teenagers and all that. What do you think is the effect you are trying to get with this teaching? What's your goal, rather?
My goal, I don't think it will ever be accomplished.
Okay. You don't think it will ever be accomplished. So why is it a goal then?
Because I am someone that always puts before himself the maximum goals.
Right.
So the goal that I have is the maximum one, and I'm not sure it will be accomplished.
You mean accomplished by you or by generation to come?
At least it might be accomplished in generation to come.
Right.
But maybe not in my life. It might be accomplished in my lifetime to some extent, but maybe not fully.
Okay. So can we have the pleasure of hearing the goal?
Why I'm doing the particular one on the family or the general teachings?
The one on the family.
Just the one on the family?
Yeah.
I want to change the world.
Okay.
And that's why I do everything I do. I want to change the concept that the world is living by. I want to deliver the world from living by instinct and by stimuli. And I want to bring people to understanding that people don't even know they are living by instinct, that they're not living as human beings. Wow. And I want to let the world understand the difference between what I call biomass lifestyle. And so biological mass lifestyle or human lifestyle. I want to let people know that we are made to be humans, to carry the likeness of God and function like God, rather than functioning like biological masses. But the way most people live, 99% of people on earth today, is just mainly by instinct, like biomass, especially when it comes to stereotype or stereotypical things like questions like marriage, children. People just live by it according to instinct and culture, or just talk, just what is obtainable, just what people see. People just copy, just like a cartoon. You know, the animals are going to follow everybody, each other. So that's the way all humanity is living mainly. Maybe 1% are free from that cartoon, follower, animal instinct kind of lifestyle. So, and the more the whole humanity is living like that, we will never get to the end of problems that are caused by children, parents, husbands, fathers, and things like that. And the reason is because, you know, as long as you are doing things unconsciously, you are going to be, you know, multiplying sorrow and multiplying tragedy. But, you know, but people will never hear. Some people will hear, but people will never hear. You know, the whole world will never hear me. And I'm going to, after I finish, I'm going to do my best to try to begin to work on the on the multiplication and spreading of the word later on. But I have, apart from the maximum goal, I have minimum goal. The minimum goal is maybe I could help somebody.
Okay.
And the hopeful goal is maybe sometimes somebody will pick it up, or a generation will pick it up and try to understand what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is not for this world. It's not for this generation. It's like they are not there yet. It's like, you know, that sometimes when you talk some things that people say you are ahead of your time.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of things that I'm talking about, that I carry, it's like it's ahead of my time.
Right.
And it might be another 500 years or 200 years before people begin to talk like that.
Wow.
Because it is difficult for people in this generation, because they are living by general understanding, by norms and by tradition rather than by understanding.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting.
For example, if we are talking about what is your goal, one of my goal is that 50% of the people will not even think about marriage.
Okay.
So that they will only think about their purpose for creation and live for purpose and for pleasing God, and not even bother themselves. And then the other 50% of people, it doesn't have to be like they are married. If they all 100, I'm talking about the population in the world we have now and the way they are now. But if all of them could still be married, 100% could still be married, or 80% the way they are now. But then if they all want to be married, they can still be married, but then they have to be prepared and be ready. And I think because of the human nature of laziness, and because of the human nature of not wanting to work hard, and not wanting to choose the hard way, and just wanting to have something for nothing, and just having to go by and cut corners and just do things fast, that's why I say 50% of people would never be ready, because they would never be ready to pay the price for marriage and for marriage to be successful. And when you don't pay the price for marriage to be successful, you are ruining somebody else's life. Either you are ruining the life of the woman, or you are ruining the life of the child that will come after that, or you are ruining the life of the community that is saying that. You are ruining something when you are not doing things with prepared and with understanding. So, but you know, this is a language that is not for today. Now, and also another thing when it comes to marriage that I want to accomplish is the fact that I want to accomplish the fact that every man will understand what it means to be a father.
Right.
And they will understand what it means to be a pillar and a foundation of the society, of the family, and of the woman. That's one of the dream.
Right.
And another one is that that men would truly relieve all their wives of any pressure in life. That women, for me, my understanding, women are made to be wonderful. They are not made to be carrying all the burden and the pain and the struggle and the overweight down by life struggles. I think they are made to be beautiful. That's why all of them are beautiful. They try to be beautiful. They work on it. That's just, they are soft. That's their nature. They are the weaker vessel, and they are supposed to be taken care of. And they are supposed to be the body, because the Bible says that just relate to your wife as relate to your body. Nobody wishes their skin, body. Everybody loves their body soft. That's the way a relationship with a woman is supposed to be. Either the woman is your wife, or the woman is your daughter, or the woman is your mother, or the woman is your sister. So I really wish that it could be like that in real life. And for that to happen, people have to have understanding, both men and women, but especially the men. So that's another thing that I want to happen. And another thing I want to happen is that I want the men to take so much responsibility for the homes so that the wives will be free enough to take care of the children. And they would not need to be rushing to work like the men and together and leaving both men and women rushing to work and leaving children at home or just giving them over to some people, schools or somewhere. But so that the man or the woman will be able to give their best to their child. And for that, they have to be free from the economic system of the world or from Uncle Sam's system. So that's another my dream. So, but these things, they will never come to pass. But that doesn't make me to stop dreaming. I have to live for something greater than myself. And I have to live and dream of doing something much greater than myself. And for me, for example, going to Nigeria and to bring transformation to Nigeria is much more easier than this one I'm talking about. Right. So that one is, I'm not even thinking that is going to come to pass or not. That one is easy. Right. But I have other projects that are much more difficult than that.
Okay. All right, Pastor, but talking about 50% of people not getting married and concentrating, when you're thinking on this, does it bother you? Because I know a lot of people get into marriage because they don't want to live in sexual sin. And they will use the scripture of what Paul said, that it's better to be married than to be born, than to born. So has it occurred to you in that way, or probably what do you think is going to be a solution to people that cannot control their sexual drive and desires in order not to live in sexual sin, probably having extramarital affairs or sex outside marriage? What would be your solution if 50% of the population of the world decide not to get married and pursue their purpose, and how will they control their sexual drive if they are having issue with that?
Okay, that's an honest question, very honest. And I would like those people who are marrying because of sexual urge to be honest about it. Okay. That's it. They just need to be honest about it with the person. But the society does not allow them to be honest about it. Okay. Just like for a long time, the society did not allow the gay people to be honest about their addiction or whatever their problem. And so also today, the society doesn't allow people to be honest that they are marrying, or not because it's marriage the way everybody is saying it, but they just want to marry for sexual satisfaction. And because they don't want to be honest about it, we are now having this problem widespread, cohabiting. Right. So a lot of people, so they will not call it marriage, they will just cohabit, and because of sexual pleasure or sexual sin. So, but if they will agree to be honest, both man and woman will be honest about it, that we are not like the traditional marriage. We are just here to be able to, so that we will not sin. And then don't rush into marriage. I mean, you can marry together and live together, but don't demand all the other things from each other. Because if I know that we are living together only for sexual sin, then I will only do what I'm able to do in that relationship. And then you don't have any right to demand everything from me that you are supposed to have as a legal wife. And then, the opposite also. So then we are just satisfied, we are living by what we agree on, something like that. And then we are honest about it, that we will not have children until we are totally ready and prepared to take care of those children in the best way possible. That's just about honesty.
Okay. All right. Those are really bitter pills. I bet not everyone is ready actually to hear it.
Now you understand what I mean. You wanted to hear.
Yeah, I wanted to hear because I want to hear. It's always an interesting thing to.
Is it itching here?
Would I say it? Not exactly. I'm not new to that ideology, but I think I wanted our audience to benefit from that.
What will it give them?
What it will give them? Probably thinking out of the box. That's the way it is for me. Not just staying by the status quo. Being able to, sit down and think and analyze what you actually want, not just what the society demands of you or expects from you. A lot of people are living their life based on the expectation of the society. So that's what I think it will do. So my wonderful viewers, if you have listened to that intro, I believe wherever you are, probably you might be having something running in your mind and some questions. So if you have any question for Pastor from what he just said or any other thing, please leave your question as a comment under this video, and we are going to be addressing all your questions. So let's get to the questions for today.
And also, I want to congratulate you for the release of your book.
Thank you, Pastor.
Pastor Sufficient is releasing a book today, officially, on Amazon.
Right.
At a giveaway price, actually. It's a wonderful book. That book doesn't cost the amount she has put there now. But if you buy it by today or till when?
Till the end of
today,
New York time. Right.
Till the end of today, New York time. If you buy it, then you are buying it at a giveaway cheap, almost nothing price. So go to Pastor Sufficient or Dr. Sufficient's Facebook page, or just go to Amazon. I think that's the only Sufficient in the world. Without Dr. Sufficient, finish. You'll be able to go to Amazon, just write Dr. Sufficient, that book will pop up, and you'll be able to participate in it. But let me also ask you a question.
Right.
Now you're already a bestseller there.
Yes.
And you're already number 3 on Amazon.
Right.
So being a bestseller author, best-selling author now, now, you are telling me today that you listened to one of my cassettes, and but because before I came here, a pastor just called me from America and said, how can I get my book published?
Okay.
He has many books, but he cannot even get them published, or talk less of getting them to be on Amazon,
right,
or getting them to be best-selling.
Right.
So those things are, but he said he was here one time, that this pastor, and he saw the way I was talking with Layo.
Right.
And he saw that Layo was working on a book.
Right.
And then it worked out. He was just here and he saw the old conversation we were having.
Right.
And then he saw that, she had become a best-selling author. And he was telling me, I want to come back to Ukraine, and I want to, what is this mystery? Now, this is somebody who has been living in America for 40 years.
Right.
Been pastoring many, many churches. Great praise and worship leader. But when he was saying that, I was saying, you are in America, Amazon in America, all the things are over there. I have no idea. How come you have not even been to that country yet? You are not even living there, and you are here, and from here you are able to establish that authority and even become bestseller. I mean, do you know how many pastors in America? We have many pastors in America more than anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And many of them are even mega pastors, and they still don't become bestseller.
Okay, to answer your question first, Pastor, I would say firstly, it's thanks to you. It was until I came your way, because before I met you, I usually felt that being a bestseller was all about probably when you have a big congregation, a large crowd following you and all that, maybe probably when you sell your book and all your congregation buys it, that's the way you become a bestseller. So after I met you, I left and I started following your teachings. I was listening to all your teachings, at least one per day, sometimes more than that. So it was like an exercise. So I came across your teaching.
I don't even know where that teaching is.
Yeah, it was actually an audio. I came across your teaching when you were working on church shift. So I saw everything you did, the strategy and all that. I was like, wow, really? So this thing is about marketing. It's not necessarily about the crowd you have and all that. So that motivated me.
It's about strategy.
Strategy and marketing. So after I listened to that and all that, I came to you back. And we were discussing that in one of our sections when we were walking, as I was walking with you and everything, I brought out the question and you started talking about it and you discussed it. So I now told you the meet I was having. I remember you laughing at me that day. You laughed so hard and you now told me that. So after that, I started doing further researches and all that. That was what happened. So before I even wrote this book, I would say I was already equipped with the know-how on how to go about it. And another thing you taught me to do is to research everything and make sure you have like if there is anything like excess of information to overflowing, at least before you start up a project, you should have like at least three backup plans if you're not planning at all, but you have more than that. So yeah, thanks to you. It's actually the process I applied and it worked.
Okay.
Right.
Now, today is 17th.
Right.
Next Saturday is what?
24th.
24th, okay. Now, with us working together,
right,
and you living here, I want to interview you kind of. I will still interview you today. But
okay.
what has that done for your life?
Oh.
Because when you people came, that was not just you. It's Joshua, Amara, yeah, and some other people that were here that time.
Right.
I was saying, I noticed because you are a totally different person, and
right.
this is not to, you understand what I'm saying, but I was saying you people are educated, you are medical doctors, and people who come now, I still see the same problem.
Yeah.
But you've not had the privilege. It's like you've never been trained.
Right.
I used to talk like that.
Right.
You've never been educated. You've never been trained. Then you people even helped me and explained to me that, yeah, Pastor, it's not that I was saying you are not educated. That was the language I used to say. You people are students, you are going, but you people are not educated. You are not just you, but everybody I'm seeing, they're not educated. And you are telling me and others also that in Nigeria or where, for young people like that, that they were educated in their subject of profession, whatever they did.
Yes.
But in the larger life situation, I think it's so. But you are a total brand on your own.
Yeah.
So how I'm just looking and because you are a full package now.
Right.
Not just say I went to medical school and I have paper. Because that is nothing.
Right.
Because that way you can only go and be medical, but you are not relevant for the world. You are not. So what will you say has happened to you over this? Is it 1.5 years you live here or 2 years?
Right. But okay, a lot has happened. I'm going to look for how fast I could answer that so we can get to our questions.
Yeah, go ahead. You take your time. Take your time. Because a lot of people will be learning from this.
Okay. Well, a lot has happened. Just like I told you earlier, basically, because most times in life, not just Africans, I actually see this too with some Europeans and all that. Some people are just career-oriented.
Only 3% of the people are the top people in the world.
Right.
And so 10% again, so 87, another 10%, another 13%, 3%, then another 10%, making it 13%, are the people who are closer to them. But the rest of the 80-something percent, 87%, they never even have opportunity to come close at all. That's just the rest of the world. It's what we call the gray.
Yeah. So people are just probably, let's say, either they're a career person, you're pursuing medical degree, and that is all there is about it. You want to do your best in that, you want to be best in that and everything. And a lot of people are not just versatile, or probably they are not well developed outside their field. And I remember telling you then because I used to think I was very smart until I met you. At least my growing up and the environment I was in and everything, I was always like a leader among my clique and everything. So I was thinking I was smart and I knew my way around things. I could do everything I needed to do until I met you, and you actually started making me doubt if at all I was educated. I think then, when was that working at first? It wasn't easy because everything I did, you complained about it.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to continue working with you at all. But you are so, what shocked me about you is, because I would do it. I said, but you are not fit for me. I cannot, let me just have mercy on you and leave you. I will just be troubling you. No, Pastor, I will do it. I said, but I'll be making you cry, or you'll be feeling pain, or you will not like me. No, Pastor.
Yeah.
No for an answer.
I was not ready to take a no. All right.
Because I would have just have rejected you. Because in my own heart, that was my decision.
All right.
I already said, no, these people are not, no, I don't want to waste my time. They are not, I don't want to offend. I wanted to have I wanted to have good relationship. Hi, hello, hi, my sister, hi, hello. Hi. That's okay. That's always good. that's what you who are good.
Anyway, I knew what I came for. I didn't come for that, so I was not going to accept that. All right, because one thing let's say it's from it's from my upbringing. Okay, it's still part of the book. The challenges I have passed through in life has made me tough. So failures doesn't chase me away. I'm not ready to give up. I'm not that kind of person. Even if I have to do it 100 times, I'll do it till I cross the border. So yeah, that was actually, it wasn't easy, basically. I know, but what happened to me was that each of those things you were nailing on, even though I was at point, I will get angry, I will get upset at the point, I will go back. When I go back, I'll begin to work on it. And I will make sure that at least by the time I'm coming next time, even if I've not gotten what you've said yet, at least I should be better than the way I was before. So it was not easy. You know, it was a lot of pain. Sometimes I would feel so bad and everything and all that, but I just kept going and, you know, kept to it. And yeah, I think that's actually what brought the transformation and all that. And
well, it's a long process of hard work.
You are
in this house, we're hardly sleeping for too many hours at the point.
It's a long process of hard work, yeah. So sleep is not even a problem anymore, I think, for me now, from working with you and all that. So actually, like I told you, my 1 year of working under you, being mentored by you and working with you, I would not trade it for my 6 years in medicine. Because,
yeah, that's what Joshua said also. Yeah. That he thought he had never even been to school, even life. He had not even started life.
It's one thing to go to school. It's another thing to pass through the school of life. There are two different things. You can have a medical degree, be a best doctor, but when it comes to the issue of life itself, you're zero, you're nowhere. So academic intelligence is not always equivalent to success in life. Success in life has to come through this process of training and self-development and all that. And that is what you don't get in school. You're only probably, you study your profession and all that, so you have a high IQ, you're excellent at your work. That's why we have a lot of educated people with so many degrees that are struggling in life. There are nobodies in life today because of that. So I'm not going to trade my 1 year plus of working with you with any degree. I was telling someone, I said, some people were like, okay, you actually left your specialization you were supposed to be doing and stayed back. So you're a medical doctor, just working with pastor and everything. I said, well, I wouldn't trade that opportunity and that privilege I have for any degree in the world today. So right now, with everything I know, I don't really think there is anybody with any specialty.
It's like you have 100 specialties.
Yeah, having any specialty that could actually really compete in the race of life. So it's
and so many diverse, many
different areas, business-wise,
it's writer,
entrepreneurship-wise. I don't know where to start from. Yeah. It's a full package, Pastor. So all thanks to you.
But now, many people might not really understand to the end what we're talking about. How could you say you met somebody in medical school and that person is finishing medical school, or has even finished, and you are saying not even one, all these people are uneducated, that you are just like you never went to school.
That's because you were on a different level from the level we were coming from. Your level was way far from where we were. In our own eyes, we were like, small experts and everything. We had people following us, and we travel about speaking and all that. So you think you have it all together until the reality check comes and all that. So that's it, Pastor.
Because I just want people who are listening now,
right,
to also see, to really grasp what we are talking about. That what do you mean somebody who has finished high school or 1 degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree? How can we say the person is uneducated? Because one time, I even said, did you go to secondary school? You remember? I used to say that.
Right.
Did you go to secondary school? Yeah. What did they teach you there? So because then you are telling me it's what the subject they give in class is what I said, what about doing things proper and doing out and it's not just you, almost all the guys and I remember Joshua, this thing is doing now. Right. He couldn't even type, he couldn't even use the computer properly. What were you doing? But I see you with the computer. What are you doing with that? He's doing some music or something, YouTube, and, just some things like that. So what you cannot even write. Write this thing. I have to sit down. This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. So even ordinary things like for me, those are just so. I was saying my secretaries, these are just ordinary people who would do those things for. But although they have to be taught too. Right. They have to be taught too. But that's what I'm thinking now. That there might be a lot of people watching us now. Mm-hmm. And it's painful for me because I know it's true. Because many people come here for HMT. And they are living in countries like maybe America or Western countries or different places. And they are not understanding why they are not making a headway. Right. But I could easily see that.
Especially ministers.
This one that I talk about now, living in America for 40 years.
Pastor, it's not a factor of where you live.
Being a pastor there. I'm pastor in many churches.
Yeah.
So people are like that, and their life is already finishing. Because they are 50, they are 60-year-old people. And they are thinking God has not given them some breakthrough. Many of them are fasting, they are praying, they are fasting, 30, 20 years old, waiting on God. And many of them are married, having children, but they don't even know this thing. So how will their children compete?
Well, there's actually still boys.
But they are going to work, they're going to work.
Yeah, it still boils down to what, what's his name, Robert Kiyosaki will say, that they will, at the end of the day, they might raise up excellent brains that do not really know about the affairs of life. So all they will end up doing is to have excellent degrees and go work for those who know the way.
Yeah, but all of them are struggling because then you can just be, an implementer. You can just be someone that other people are using because you only know the little thing, yes. And you don't control the system.
Yeah, you'll be helping others fulfill their purpose without fulfilling yours. Yeah, that's sad. Thank you for delivering us from that.
When you look around, and you meet people, right? How different do you see the world?
It's very difficult because it's very difficult to see someone that actually understands, like talk on the same frequency as you do. So sometimes you just keep quiet because people don't really understand. They don't really get it. And I found myself really getting frustrated. That was when I now discovered what was happening to you when you met us. So I think I was telling Joshua one day, I'm like, seriously?
It's like Pastor does it.
I'm like, how was Pastor coping? So I became so frustrated with people, and these are people that are also educated, maybe older in age and all that and everything. So yeah, I understand the perspective you're coming from, but thank you.
Like we just had HMT here also, yeah. And you saw many grown-up people, and you had to be helping them, giving them instruction, and you would think that these people are grown-ups. Yeah. And some of them, they're having kids, children, grown-up. Right. How will you ever be competitive?
I think the message has to go out some more. Yeah.
But it's different, though, when you people were able to actually live here, than just to hear. But when you are really working with friends and being corrected.
It's more like practical. Mm-hmm. It's a different atmosphere and environment, so it's more helpful for the people that will be able to pay the price, though, because it's not easy. I would say it's not easy working on that. It's one thing. You can still be here, and if you're not ready to work on that information, you're not ready to make it flesh, It's not
Is it
going to
not
still
just?
work
Is
for
it
you.
just working on information or?
Like practicing what you're learning.
Yes, that's one. But also working with me, it demands not having schedule, not having break, not
Of course,
having, not
no,
eating, not
actually,
sleeping.
no life of your own.
Yes.
So yeah, until you're ready for that sacrifice to pay that price, then you're not ready. Basically, that's how it is. So, Pastor, let me get to the questions for today.
Yeah, but I still want people to catch what we are talking about.
Okay.
So the essence of a human being, of
Right.
somebody, is not just education. Education, to me, the way we are talking about it, it's just like a dot.
It's
Like
just one
just
segment.
one little dot in your brain.
Yes.
But the fullness of it has to
Yes.
come from total development all around like this.
Right, right. That's true.
So how do you feel yourself then, now?
Okay, how do I feel myself?
More confident,
I
maybe?
feel myself like ready to take on the world.
Yes.
That's how I feel now.
Yeah.
Right. Then I knew I was good. According to my own, estimations,
Standard.
my standard, and more like success in life was more like a hope, hoping to, I hope I will get here with the help
Maybe.
of God. Maybe it wasn't
By
certain.
God's grace.
By God's grace, okay, I'm going to do my part and all that. But now there is a certainty.
Life is predictable.
predictable. There is a know-how. You just know there is no way you will not succeed. The road might be tough, but definitely you're going to succeed. So because you have
know
a
the
know-how, it's like
you know
there
the
is a
formula.
manual. If you follow this principle,
Yeah.
this plus this, 1 plus 1 must equals to 2 in any place. So that's the way it is. There is an assurance and there is a certainty. There is a know-how. There is a sense of direction.
And you can determine whatever height you want to go,
Yes.
how high
And
you
how
want to
far,
go, how
and
far.
how fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And in what area, in any area you want to.
Life is more enjoyable like that, I think. It's more
Confident.
satisfying. And knowing that you know your purpose, you're living in your purpose, and you're not living by the detection of the society or the detection of the world system. You are your own person. Living
So
for
you
God.
now understand when you read in books or I talk about it or other people talk about
Right.
it that only 5% control the world or
It's
3%.
true.
So you now know what it means.
Yeah.
Because before, one of the questions you were asking me that what is it that those 5%, what makes them special? What is it? Is it just God's favor that you are telling me about the church you used to go to in Africa? They used to tell you that it is God's favor or God's whatever, breakthrough or whatever. Some words like that. That God just, how do you determine who God? I said,
Right.
no,
It's
no,
like predestination. Predestination.
so I used to laugh like you are laughing now. I used to say, leave God alone from this thing. Just leave him alone.
Yeah. It's all good, Pastor. Thank you to you. Pastor, we need to go to our questions, really.
I personally believe that for people who are watching us, if they are writing anything now, I'm sure they are more writing of gratitude. If you could ask them, they will say this our conversation is more engaging and enriching to them than just follow the formula.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't know now, and I might not know, and you might not know. We might not have an opportunity to talk like this again, or soon. It might be the only opportunity for them to be able to see the two of us talking about process.
Right.
Not just talking the principles, but the process that you have to go through. And somebody's destiny is being determined right now.
Right.
So that's why I was saying that. So instead of, like before, you came to me and said about that, how is it that, that you are telling me about your family, that your family has gone through, and all that, But now, the question I'm having for you is that you now know why that 5% is 5%. Because you came to me with that question before. Right. But that answer now is, you know it. Yeah. And you know it is in your hand to be part of that, if you want to. And you're already there in your mind. So, but for a lot of people, it's still a mystery. Right. How will you explain that? For yourself, will you say, am I right, that it's no more a mystery to you at least?
When I came to you with that question, I could still remember the answer you gave me vividly. You told me that even if you tell me, even if you explain to me, I will not understand that. That it was not going to benefit me anyway.
Yes.
That was your answer. That I should just keep working if I can keep pursuing that, I'll get to a point I'll discover it. That telling me now is not going to make any difference.
Yes.
And you were right.
It was just going to be head
Yeah,
knowledge.
it was going to be head knowledge, just information, and I'm not going to
Information.
be able to use it anyway. So there is no point wasting time. That I should keep working and, you know, working on myself. I'm pursuing you, then I'll
Building
get to,
capacity.
Yeah, building capacity that I'll get to discover that. And that was what happened. As when you felt I was ready, you now told me about it,
Yes.
and you now told me, said, you see why I told you you were not going to understand it at that point. And sincerely speaking, you were right, actually. So yeah, I think it's all about being definite about purpose, focus, determination, and principles, knowing that life is not based on miracles but on principles. Life is predictable, which you were the first person I heard that from, and it has become one of my favorite quotes. Life is predictable. The predictability of life is something that a lot of people don't know in our world today. A lot of people think that their life is dependent on fate, some sort of miracles or favor that has to happen from somewhere, you know, but we have to know that God has given us all that pertain to life, and it is our responsibility. Even what we call promises in the Bible, it is our responsibility to make it happen. Like, we have to live what God has said. So it's not in the hands of God. Now, God has done his part. So if I see in the scripture, God said you will be the head and not the tail. That was also from your example. So it's now my responsibility to make sure I'm the head so that I do not disgrace God, not to sit down and be quoting it back to God, God in prayers, God, you know, you said I will be the head and not the tail. I should get to work and fulfill that scripture. So we are here to fulfill everything God has said about us, and that has to do with hard work, understanding, persistence, focus, determination, and a kind of knowledge and direction of where you're going. So
When you are talking now, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking that you are a different breed of human being already, from totally different from the majority of the people who are in the country that you are coming from.
yes.
Because I just remember, as I'm listening to you, I cannot just but recall the articles I've been writing this week.
Right.
And I'm recalling, not the articles, but I'm recalling the comments. Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't know, you are able to read all through the comments?
Not
No?
all.
Okay.
Not all.
So I read every day through
Right.
the comments.
Yeah.
And even today, I still read through them. And people are just, you know, telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Superficiality. People lack in depth. They lack in
So
depth.
they are sure that
That
I am the
you're
one
wrong.
who don't know, not just wrong, oh, that you don't know what you are talking about. So for people to be so confident that they know this MMM, because I'm right, all the articles are about MMM,
Right.
and that as a Ponzi scheme, that it will collapse one day or the other, and that the pyramids will collapse, and the photographs are there, and everything, that there's just no way for it's not sustainable. That they say, no, it will come back in January, this is this, that you don't know what you are talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. They are just very sure, not one, no, not two. Everybody says out this your article is just showing how foolish you are, or how you know how stupid you are. You are not. This is just word. You are just shooting in the air. This is just empty word. You are just pouring water out. And I'm thinking, these are human beings, no? But they are so confident, eh?
Pastor, the only thing that reminds me of is a perfect quotation I read somewhere. I don't know if it was from Benjamin Franklin or who, I can't really predict again. He said that it is only the ignorance that forces their opinion on others. When somebody do not know, and they don't know, then that is a disaster, because a man that is ignorant actually feels he knows everything. So it takes wisdom for you to be able to give someone the benefit of the doubt or respect the opinion of another person, even if you do not agree. So for someone to blatantly come on another person's page and say that, is even if you were not right, let's say, for instance, you were not right, then if the person is even wise and knowledgeable, you won't even do that. You give, maybe, who knows, benefit of the doubt. But when you are totally wrong and yet you're still bold like that, that's the height of ignorance. And that is to show you, when we were doing the article on Nigeria that first time towards the election, I told you that shows you the level of education we have in Nigeria and the kind of people we have, the breed of people we have, people are talking about corruption and all that in Nigeria and everything, but what they have forgotten is that our leadership and our leaders, they are not being imported from another country. It's coming from the masses. And when we're reading through the comments of people, you can see how superficial, how, there is no depth, lack of understanding,
but
just emotions, no logic.
Yes, but if you don't
no
have
arguments.
depth, so on what basis are you now affirming and saying the person is the one who is wrong? I must have some basis.
On the basis that what you're saying is not palatable to me. So as long as it's not making me feel good, I don't want to reason on what you're saying. It has to be what I believe or what I feel is good for me, or it's not correct.
The person is giving, like in my articles, I'm always giving faster.
But the funniest thing is that some of them don't even read their article. They only saw the title and they begin to comment. Because when I was reading those comments, you could vividly see that most of those people commenting never read this article. Because if they did, they won't even leave that kind of comment. They are leaving. So, yeah,
I see.
Lack of in-depth.
But why do we have so many people like that?
Well, I don't know. I can't tell. I think it's just the system. I don't know if I would say it's a system. Because
because all these people might be in our families, all of them are thinking the same way. They might live in the north or in the south, in the middle. They are all thinking. You find someone like that in your own home, for example. In my own home, I'll find someone like that.
Yeah, that's true. What can we say to this thing? I think people, I think the way to address that, probably something like logical thinking or analytical thinking should be taught in our secondary schools.
Okay.
So teaching children to think outside of the box, to be able to question. That's another beautiful thing, because in the Nigerian system and culture, children are not really allowed to question things that they don't really understand. They see it as disrespect. So in this part of the world, you can see children even questioning or asking their parents and all that, but you dare not do that in a typical Nigerian home. I don't know about the Yoruba, but in my culture, you don't really question your parents or probably ask them, maybe conflicting ideas. If you have another opinion and all that, if they say it, you have to do it. So some of those things we call respect somehow is affecting our children and our system of thinking. So people end up, they don't really believe what is the truth. They believe what the person that has influence over them has said. So they don't think outside the box. They only follow the normal cliche. They don't analyze what is happening. They don't think logically. Very few do any research. So they can easily be manipulated by the news, manipulated by whosoever they trust in, whatsoever the person is saying. So it's everybody, most people are just superficial like that. So the media can easily, and religion to some extent is not doing good to that too, because people have used
they say they believe God.
Yeah, manipulate people. So people don't want to think again. It just tell us what God is saying, and that's it. There is no logic. They don't analyze anything, no research, no facts. So
yeah, that's why somebody was even saying in this my article that why is we are writing his 7 articles, 8. What's wrong with you? If you don't like it, just say you don't like it. That's all.
That's all. They don't need the facts. It's a long process. Just say you don't like it, or God said it's wrong, or it's evil, or it's from the pit of hell. So, well, Pastor, can we at least take maybe like 1 or 2 questions, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Congratulations on being a bestseller on Amazon, anyway.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you. I'll give that credit to you, first of all. Thank you. Okay. The first question is saying, how would you know if your partner is faithful to you or not?
If you are going to be bothering yourself with that, you are going to go to psychiatric hospital very soon. Everybody have issues.
Right.
Your partner might not be spending time with a woman or a man or any opposite sex, but he might watch a video, or he might, if your partner is watching any film, that's already a problem. So you could go, if you want to tread that path, you are going to, you could go to, like what I say, psychiatric hospital is waiting for you. Do your own part. You are not called to monitor your partner or to monitor another person. Don't judge. It's not your calling. Your calling is to judge yourself. Your calling is to make sure that you are doing your own best to be faithful to that person in that relationship and to believe him and believe God and live your life to the full. Don't bother about who, what is. Do you know why God doesn't allow people to know other people's thoughts?
The word will come to an end.
Maybe you are interested in opening the head of your partner, then maybe that will really help. That is the one that you really need.
That would be disaster. So, Pastor is saying if you're the person that asked that question, forget about how to know if your partner is faithful or not. You just keep being faithful to your partner and believe your partner. Okay, the second question we have here is, how did Pastor Sunday become prominent in ministry in Ukraine? What was his secret? What plan does he have for African churches?
How do I become? I think you should answer that. How did Pastor Sunday become prominent in Ukraine?
Well,
I don't even know how to. I'll talk about myself about that.
Okay, if I'm going to actually start, I'm going to use the interview I did with you when I wrote my first book, and I was asking you what ministry was to you, basically. And you told a story of you, that ministry for you is about touching people with the love of God, so much so that you don't even need to preach, but they can feel the love of God flowing through you. And you gave me the example of when God had to tell you to drop your Bible and leave the pulpit and go touch the masses with the love of God. I think it was from that move, reaching out to people and loving on them like Jesus would do, touching them with the love of God, so much so that they want to know the person behind the love that is flowing through you. That is actually what became the groundbreaking success you had. Love for God and love for people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the other thing the person is asking?
Okay, so do you think my answer is okay?
Yep. Well, if that's I pray that will satisfy the person. That, it depends on what angle the person is coming from.
So in the others, I answered one part. But
Yeah.
the person is saying, what are the plans you have for African churches?
You can also answer that, not just for African churches, but generally.
I want you to answer that one first.
Because I have to be repeating about the Nigerian project. Okay. And instead of, because I've said a lot about that already, maybe you should tell them, because I want them to hear afresh from another perspective.
Okay. The plan Pastor has for African churches, first of all, Pastor has said his number one goal is not to start a church when he gets to Africa, except God directly tells him to do so. His plan is to bring transformation and to help strengthen the churches that are already on ground in Africa. So a new church is not a problem Nigeria or Africa has, but the church has to be done rightly. We have 1 minute to go. So maybe we. So
what am I planning to do in Africa now?
What are you planning to do?
Yeah.
In Africa?
Tell them about the Nigerian project.
Oh, okay. Pastor, that's
because maybe just 1 minute at least where they could find more information. All
right. What you have to do is, if you're the one that asked that question, I would like to tell you to go to SundayAdelajablog.com, check the icon on the Nigerian Transformation Project, and you're going to see everything that Pastor is going to do. If you still have any question or you're not satisfied with the question and answers that are in that column, then you can write Pastor directly and he will be addressing all your questions. And please, my dear viewers, our time is over today. I believe probably you should have benefited 1 or 2 things from our discussion today. But if your question was not answered, don't be bothered. Same time on Saturday. I'm going to be here with you again on Saturday, maybe for the last time, and we're going to be addressing all those questions that is left over today. But I believe you were blessed, as I was blessed also. And
by the way, next Saturday's program will be the last one for this year.
Oh, okay. So you're going to wait till New Year before starting? Interesting. So we're doing our grand finale. You have to be here next week Saturday then. So invite your friends and all that. And all these questions will be answered in depth by next week. So don't worry. And maybe we should just say thank you to Pastor. And Pastor, maybe you say a word of prayer for our viewers today.
Yes, and after this program, we are going to have, okay.
That's true. Please, don't go away. We are having a practical section with Pastor. Dr. Sufficient.
Yes.
You enjoy it.
I will be
Join
interviewing Dr. Sufficient today about her book that she's launched on Amazon. Today is the launch of the book. She's giving it at a giveaway price today. You know, so if you get it before the end of the day today, New York time, you will still be able to get it almost for free. It's called The Beauty of Challenges, Difficulties, Troubles. So, you know, how can challenges be beautiful? Well, that's why you need to get that book. So, Father, in Jesus' name, we're praying that you touch your children today. You cause their mind to be illuminated. You cause insight and understanding to come to them. And you cause them to see reasons how challenges could become beautiful and how to cause all situations in their lives to make it, to convert it to a beautiful experience. Thank you, Father, for this session, and bless the next program that's coming up in Jesus' name.
Amen. Stay blessed and bye for now till we'll see you on Saturday again. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.